Sneakers have always been more than just footwear. They're a statement, a status symbol, and even a part of street identity. But the kicks you see in the UK streets are often different from what's rocking in the US. So what are the most popular sneakers in these two street cultures? Why do certain gangs rep specific brands? And which region has the better sneaker game? Let's get into it. American gangs and their sneakers. Let's start with the US. American gangs, whether it's Bloods, Crips, Latin Kings, or GDs, have always had a strong connection to sneaker culture. Here are some of the most iconic sneakers linked to US gang culture. 1. Nike Cortez, the OG gangster shoe. Originally a running shoe, the Cortez became a symbol of West Coast gangs, especially in LA. Worn heavily by Crips and Bloods, it was seen as a street soldier shoe. The all-white and black versions were popular, but colors also played a role: red for Bloods, blue for Crips. 2. Air Jordans, status and respect. Jordans are universally loved, but in the streets, they mean something deeper. Owning fresh Jordans, especially rare ones, symbolizes wealth, power, and street credibility. Some gangs would even rob people for their Jordans back in the day. 3. Timberland boots, Timbs, the East Coast classic. In cities like New York, Philly, and Chicago, Timberlands were huge in gang culture. Not exactly a sneaker, but a must-have for hustlers and street figures in the 90s and 2000s. Worn by groups like the Latin Kings and Vice Lords in the Midwest. 4. Adidas superstars, shell toes, NYC legends. First popularized by Run DMC, but later embraced by gang-affiliated groups in New York. The no-laces look became a statement of rebellion. Why these sneakers? In the US, sneakers represent identity and territory. Certain colors can signal gang affiliation: red for Bloods, blue for Crips, black for neutral groups. Sneakers are also about status. Having the freshest kicks means you're respected in the streets. London gangs and their sneakers. Host. Now, let's take it across the pond to London. London's gang culture is different from the US, but sneakers still play a huge role. The UK drill scene, inspired by Chicago, has shaped a new wave of sneaker culture. Here are some of the most popular sneakers among London gangs and roadmen. 1. Nike Air Max 95, 110s, the king of the UK streets. The Air Max 95 is the most iconic sneaker in London street culture. Nicknamed a 110s because they used to cost £110, these shoes became a status symbol. Popular among London drill gangs, roadmen, and football hooligans. 2. Nike TNs, Air Max Plus, the aggressive look. The TN is seen as the bad boy sneaker in the UK. Heavily associated with London gangs, drug dealers, and drill artists. The aggressive design and "don't mess with me" energy made it a favorite in the streets. 3. Nike Air Forces, all whites, the universal classic. Just like in the US, white Air Force Ones are a must-have. Roadmen and UK drill rappers rock them as a clean, stylish flex. 4. Adidas Gazelles and Sambas, the football firm favorite. While not as common in gang culture, these are big with football hooligans, who have a history of street violence in the UK. Associated with groups like the ICF, West Ham, and Chelsea Headhunters. Why these sneakers? London gangs focus on comfort, speed, and low-key style. Unlike US gangs, they don't use sneaker colors to signal affiliation, it's more about branding and reputation. Air Max models, 95s and TNs, dominate because they're flashy yet functional for quick getaways. Which sneaker culture is stronger? So, which region has the better gang sneaker culture? If we're talking about history, the US wins. The Nike Cortez and Air Jordans are legendary in American gang culture. But if we're talking about current influence, London is holding its own. The Air Max 95 and TNs dominate UK street fashion. In the US, sneaker culture is about status, territory, and flexing. In the UK, it's more about functionality, speed, and blending in while still looking fresh. Honestly, both are dope in their own way. But what do you think? Which sneakers are more iconic, London's TNs and 95s or America's Jordans and Cortez? Drop a comment. At the end of the day, sneakers will always be a huge part of street culture, whether it's in London, New York, LA, or Chicago. These kicks tell stories. They represent power, respect, and history in their own ways. If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe to Jex Kicks, and turn on notifications for more deep dives into sneaker culture. Drop a comment, what's your favorite sneaker from this list? Catch you in the next one. Peace.